ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಮಾಲಿಕ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಮಾ
ಗುಮ್ಮ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ
Well, good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good night.
Starting with the new unit. See, for your syllabus, we have one is income from salary that you already covered last previous unit. Then we have this income from profit and gains of business or profession, PGBP. And then we have income from other sources. So these are the three sources of income that we are going to study in depth for our syllabus. As you all know, there are 5 heads of income. First one is the salary, which already covered. Second one is house property, income from house property, that we are not dealing with. It is not there in our syllabus. Third one is profit and gains of business profession. So that we are going to cover. Yes. And fourth is capital gains. Capital gains we are not going to cover in depth. It is not there for a syllabus in depth. And last one is other sources. Yes, that is there. So out of the 5 heads of income for our syllabus, we have got 3 heads of income we are going to study in depth. Okay. So this is the second one that we are going to study. Salary we have already studied the last unit. So now it is profit and gains of business or profession, PGBP. Okay. Let me just give an introduction to PGBP. See, a person can have income from different sources. Like, for example, there's a doctor who is, there's a medico who is, working in a medical college as a professor. So he is getting income from salary from the medical college. The same doctor can also work or can also have a partnership, okay, a nursing home, wherein he has put his money and there he is giving his special services. So from the medical college, he is getting income from salary. From the nursing home where he is a partner, he is getting some other income. So that income comes under PGBP. Okay. So a person can have income from different sources. Okay. So this PGBP is one thing, okay, which is accounting mainly the income from business or profession. When you say profit and gains, it could be negative also. Okay. When a person makes loss, that becomes negative profit. Gains could also be negative. Okay. It is not necessarily it is always positive only. It could be negative profit, negative gains also. So now coming to what is business, what is profession. Okay. So business includes, as you all know, it could be either manufacturing or trading. Okay, manufacturing, the persons, they manufacture something, they buy raw material at a lower cost, they do some value addition, prepare a finished good and sell it at a higher price. Difference between their cost and the selling price gives them the profit. So that is in manufacturing business. Trading, commerce. Okay, here these people buy it at a lower price and sell it at a higher price. So that is trade or commerce. So next, coming to profession. What is profession? Okay, for example, I said doctors is a profession, engineers is a profession, chartered accounts is a profession. So when you say profession, so these people, they provide services acquiring some special training skills. Okay. For example, when you say a chartered accountant, he should be good in accounting and he should know the taxation things, and with the knowledge of those things, he's providing some service. Similarly, a doctor or engineer. So these are professions. Okay. So business or profession. Okay. So both things come under PGBP. See, like, for this PGBP, you have charging section. Okay. So on what activities or on what incomes you are going to charge this particular PGBP. Okay. See, this particular charging section, section 28, is also important because this could come for theory for 7 marks. So what is business, what is profession, what is profit and gain, these things could come for 3 marks. The business, profession, these details here can come for 3 marks theory. And the charging section, okay, section 28 of PGBP. So this could be asked for 7 marks theory. Okay, this could come for 7 marks theory, or 3 marks theory, whatever it is. So this comes in theory. So which are these items on which the PGBP is charged? The first one is profit and gains of any business or profession, okay, which was carried out by an assessee at any time during the previous year. Okay, so it could be the profits and gains of any business or profession, okay, carried out by the assessee at any time. Okay, it could be for the whole year, or it could be 1 day or 2 days or whatever it is. Okay, if the assessee has carried out the business or profession and he has made some profits or gains, that is chargeable. The second one is any compensation or any other payment. Okay, for example, a person was in the board of management and his this one got terminated. Okay, because of termination, he gets some compensation. Even that is also chargeable. It could be termination of his contract or modification of the terms and condition, whatever it is. Okay, he gets something that is again charged as compensation. The third one is income derived by trade, professional, or similar association of specific services performed for its members. For example, an individual is providing services to an AOP or BOI. What is AOP? Association of persons. BOI is what? What is BOI? It is group of individuals. AOP, BOI. Then the fourth one could be profits on sale of a license granted under the Imports Control Act. Okay, so this 4, 5, 6. Okay, item number 4, 5, 6. These are related to people who are in the export-import business. So when a person who is having a license and he sells the license to somebody and makes some gain there, that is again chargeable. And the fifth one, cash assistance. Okay, he receives from government. Okay, by Government of India, he receives cash assistance for exporting something. Okay, that is also again chargeable. Item number 6 here, any duty of customs or excise repaid or repayable as drawback. Okay, so this comes under duty drawback. A person who is in export-import business, for example, he has exported something and he has paid some custom duty, and the government pays the duty back. That is called a duty drawback. Okay, so when somebody receives such a duty drawback, again it is considered as PGBP. And item number 7 here, the value of any benefit or perk, whether convertible into money or not, arising from business or exercise of a profession. For example, you look at the dealers. Okay, so dealers who have a business. Okay, For example, a cement dealer is there. Okay, he has got his own trading organization, and the companies give them. Okay, if they achieve a particular target, companies give them. You go to Singapore trip, you go to Thailand trip. Okay, the entire cost is borne by the company. Okay, so when a person receives such benefit or perk, okay, for example, here it is not convertible into money. Okay, it cannot be convertible into money because you don't know, okay, how much he has spent and all that. So even that is, supposing somebody takes a benefit like going for a foreign trip or having achieved some no, target, for example. Okay, so even that comes under PGBP. Okay, and then the eighth one here, any interest, salary, bonus, commission, or remuneration, whatever name called, okay, received by a partner of such firm. Okay, partner. Okay, so a partner, when he receives any amount, okay, in the form of interest or salary, okay, you can see here the word salary. See, salary received by the partner, okay, of a firm comes under PGBP, because this partner here is not having an employee-employer relationship. Okay, so because of that, the salary received by a partner comes under PGBP. This salary doesn't go to the head of income from salary. Okay, this is one very important observation everybody should make. And ninth one is any sum received under a key man insurance policy, including bonus. Okay, so this ninth one, key man insurance. To see here, what is this key man insurance? For example, you assume a movie production house. Okay, a movie production house, they have got a role or a lead actor. Okay, see the entire movie, okay, he's going to be the lead role, he's going to be a hero or somebody is going to be a heroine, and the entire film. Okay, supposing if in between during the production of the film, if something happens to the hero and he dies, let us say, okay, so there will be a huge loss to the production house. So in that case, what the production house does is they go for something called as key man insurance. Okay, they go for something called as key man insurance. Okay, they're very important people for their business. Okay, they take an insurance, key man insurance. Okay, so they go for a key man insurance. So when they take a key man insurance for very important people for their business, and let us say something happens to the hero or heroine, and the hero or heroine dies or something, that way something happens. Okay, and they get some money from the insurance company. Okay, that's called as sum received from key man insurance policy. Okay, sum received from key man insurance policy, including bonus. Okay, if a firm or somebody receives such, okay, key man insurance policy, including bonus amount, that also comes under PGBP. Okay, and the 10th one here, any sum, whether received or receivable in cash or in kind, under an agreement for not carrying out any activity in relation to any business. Okay, not carrying out any activity. Supposing there's a company which is into manufacturing some goods, it finds that there is one more company which can come out with the similar kind of goods, which could come as a threat to their products. So what they can do is they can approach the competitor and say, okay, you don't carry out this business or this activity, and we will pay you some amount for that. Okay, so this person is receiving some amount for not carrying out any activity. Okay, so he has not done anything, but for not doing something, he's getting something. Okay, even that is also coming under PGBP. Similarly, not sharing any know-how, patent, copyright, or such intangible assets. Okay, so if somebody is having a know-how, and supposing, let us say, nowadays we have this petrol, diesel, and all these things. Supposing somebody comes out with some know-how or some knowledge or some patent. Okay, he is having a patent wherein he can use water for running of vehicles, let us say. Okay, so if he comes out with water and he can run the engines with the water, so it will be a huge loss for the oil production companies. So oil production companies can approach this person who is having a patent on how to convert, how to run vehicles using patents, for using water, and they can say, don't share your knowledge with anybody, and they will pay you something. Okay, the oil company is coming, approaching this inventor, saying that you don't share your knowledge, okay, and we'll pay you something. for the inventor, okay, who has invented this, and he receiving something for not doing something or for not sharing something, okay, he is getting that comes under PGBP. Similarly, 11th one here, okay, any sum whether received or receivable in cash or kind on account of any capital asset being demolished, discarded or transferred. Okay, suppose somebody is having a capital asset and the government says or the municipality says or the corporation says we're going to demolish this, okay, we're going to discard this, or you have to transfer your building from one place to another place, and for that the municipality or corporation or the local government or whatever government it is, they are going to give some amount, some money. Okay? So that amount, okay, becomes PGBP. The last one is income from speculative business. Okay, speculative business. So the speculative business, what is speculative business? So speculation you have seen in our trading, okay, intraday trading of stocks, shares. So what happens there? Suppose somebody buys a share in the morning and now he sells it in the evening. Okay, so who, supposing, okay, he has made a profit, okay, it's called as a speculative business. Speculation is people are not actually delivering any goods or services. Okay, they don't do any actual delivery of goods or services or shares doesn't happen here. Okay, only on the difference about difference amount, they either make profit or do something. That is called as speculative business. Suppose somebody earns something out of a speculative business, but that is also coming under PGBP. Okay, so these 12 points here are very important because they cover the charging section or section 28 of PGBP. Okay, charging section, this could come for theory 7 marks or would also come for 10 marks. Okay, there are 12 points here, okay, on which PGBP can be charged. Okay, profit and gains of business or profession can be charged on these 12 items. Okay, so moving further now, okay, you also should know certain things about depreciation. Okay, in PGBP, okay, people who are running business, they will have some assets, and on those assets they can claim depreciation. Okay, they can claim depreciation. Let us see some of the important depreciations, rates of depreciation. This is the latest, okay, assessment year 18-19 onwards it is. Okay, the latest rates that are applicable. So what are those latest rates applicable? Okay, for few of them, let us see. Just for example, building. Okay, on building, supposing the building is for residential buildings, okay, except hotel and boarding houses, it is 5%. Okay, residential buildings, 5% depreciation allowed. Non-residential buildings like office, factory, godown, hotels, it is 10%. Okay, so for example, there are buildings for installing plant and machinery. Okay, for during the installment of plant and machinery, people go for, or the commissioning people, they go for some temporary buildings. Okay, purely temporary erections. Okay, for temporary erections, 100% depreciation is permitted. Okay, for furniture and fittings. Okay, furniture and fittings like electrical fittings, okay, wiring, switches, sockets, and all these things, depreciation permitted is 10%. Okay, plant and machinery. Okay, plant and machinery it is 15%. 15%. Okay, plant and machinery it is 15%. And also motor cars, okay, not used in the business of running them on hire. Okay, for example, vehicles used in the ordinary course of business. Okay, 15% depreciation can be charged. Okay, supposing the motor cars are used. Okay, supposing the motor cars are motor cars belonging to people in transport business. Okay, for example, the cabs. Okay, so then it is 30%. The same motor car, okay, if it forms a part of the actual hiring business, then it becomes 30% there. Otherwise, it is 15% on motor cars. And for plant and machinery, okay, it is again 15%. And computers, including computer software, it is 40%. Okay, earlier it was 60%. From 18-19 onward, there's come to 40% depreciation allowed. So with this knowledge now, let us see how to start with a problem. Okay, so see this problem, all of you. So go to the problem. Okay, first problem, let us take. Okay, this is problem on how to calculate depreciation that is used. Okay. So here one word you are seeing here, WDV. WDV stands for written down value. Okay. See, usually when you go for depreciation, you might have studied in your second semester financial management how is depreciation calculated. Okay, there are two important methods. One is straight line method, or the next one is written down value method or reducing balance method. Okay, so in case of straight line method, just for your information, in case of straight line method, how do we arrive at what is the amount of depreciation? An equal amount of depreciation is permitted for the life of the asset in case of straight line method. In case of straight line method, the formula for arriving at depreciation is cost minus scrap value upon the years of useful life. Okay, so that is what is the formula used there. Okay, that will give you a value, and that value will be deducted every year. Okay, continuously. In case of written down value method, a fixed percentage is considered. Okay, for example, you saw there residential buildings 5%, other buildings 10%, plant and machinery 15%, computers 40%. Okay, temporary installations 100%. Okay, so it is given in terms of percentages in written down value method. Okay, in case of written down value method, a percentage will be given, and the percentage will be used to arrive at the depreciation charged. Okay. From the following figures, you are required to calculate the depreciation admissible during the previous year 17-18. And they are given two blocks. Okay, in case of depreciation for PGBP, we are considering blocks of assets. Okay, so plant and machinery, the entire thing becomes one block, and all the buildings they come under one more block. Okay, buildings come under one more block, plant and machinery come under another block. Okay, so block of assets are considered. So whatever rates given there, for example, plant and machinery block, the permitted or permissible depreciation is 15%, 15%. And for building, okay, other than residential, it is 10%. Okay, so we have to consider 10% for the building block and 15% for plant and machinery block. Okay, so let us start now. What is given is we got plant and machinery as one head. And building as another block. See, for plant and machinery, we have seen here on top here, okay, for plant and machinery, okay, it is 15%. We have to consider, and non-residential buildings, it is 10%. Okay, office, factory, godowns, hotels, it is 10%. Okay, let us use the figures here for plant and machinery. How much we have to take? 15%. And for buildings, we have to take 10%. So here it is 15%, here it is 10%. So what is given? Okay, if you see here, they are given written down value at the beginning of the year. Okay, written down value WDV what they are given is they are given WDV at the beginning, WDV at the beginning of the year. Okay, for plant and machinery, it was how much? 3,75,000. $3,75,000. And the same for building is 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs for buildings. Then we have to add, okay, add purchases made, okay, purchases during the year. How much has been added? 4,50,000 is added. 4,50,000 is added here for plant and machinery. Similarly, okay, nothing is added here in case of see, total is how much? See, what we have to do is first we have to consider what is there at the beginning of the year. To that you add the purchases made during the year. That gives you total. Okay, and from this total, okay, add these two. That comes to how much here? 375 plus 4,50,000. How much it comes to? 925. Okay, 8,25,000. Right, we are just adding these two. Okay, adding, and this is how much? 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs. Okay, this is after adding. It has come to so much. From this we have to subtract. Okay, from this we have to subtract. Okay, less sales during the year. Okay, how much has been taken out? Okay, 7,75,000. 7,75,000. Okay, and here it is 3 lakhs. So WDV, okay, at the end of the year. Okay, so from this total of 8 lakh, so we have to subtract this. Subtract this. Okay. So from 8,25,000 subtract 7,75,000. What remains?
50,000.
50,000.
Yes, correct. Okay, 50,000 here, and here it is how much?
12 lakh. 12 lakhs.
minus 3 lakhs. It is 12 lakhs. 12 lakhs. Okay. So WDV at the end of the year is for plant and machinery block, it is 50,000. For building block, it is 12 lakhs. Okay. 50,000 here and 12 lakhs here. $50,000, 12 lakh. So now apply the rates. Okay. Now apply rate of 15%. Okay. Depreciation. Okay. Depreciation is okay. For okay. 15% of 50,000. How much? 50%
500.
of how much?
7,500.
7,500. Yeah, correct. Okay, 7,500 here. Okay, have you got this? 7,500 is okay. Just right here. 15% of WDV. Okay. And then in this case, it is 10%. Okay, 10% of WDV. Okay. So 10% of WDV is how much? 10% of 12 lakhs. How much is that? 1 lakh 20.
1 lakh 20.
1,20,000. Correct. Yes. Okay, this comes to 1,20,000. So as you see here, okay. So this is the final answer. They asked you to find out what is the permissible. Okay, you are required to calculate the depreciation admissible. Okay, so depreciation admissible. Okay, is 7,500 rupees for plant and machinery block. For building block, it is 1,20,000. Okay, so this is how we have to find the permissible depreciation. Okay, so this is one problem for today. Are you getting this, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So tomorrow we will solve okay one more problem on depreciation and then go to the profit or gain from business or profession. Okay, so these are small problems. This is one problem. This is small here. Okay, one more small problem we will take tomorrow on depreciation. This could come for 3 marks or 5 marks. Okay, for 5 marks it could come, and 10 marks problems will take up tomorrow again. Okay, after one problem on the depreciation. Okay, so probably you all got to know now today what is PGBP, what is profit, what is gain, what is business, what is profession, and the charging section number 28. Okay, which activities are charged under PGBP, the 12 items that I told you. Okay, and then we have seen what are some of the common rates of depreciation which are prevailing. Okay, so the latest I have taken here, the material that I have given you, probably it has got old ones there. Okay, you refer to the new that I have given here now. Okay, so refer to only this material for solving problems. Okay, whichever I'm going to give latest, which are solving in the Zoom classes. Okay, so here I'm going to cover only the latest figures here. Okay, so because as you see here, computers earlier it was 60%, now it has come to 40%. Okay, so like that, there could be some differences here and there. And when it comes to this depreciation, I should also tell you something else. And what is that is, see, depreciation, supposing, so what is important, this is just for your information and extra knowledge I'm telling, we will not have problems on this, of course. The thing is, supposing new addition is made, okay, to a particular block, let us say the block of plant and machinery, the business adds, okay, some more new additions, okay, and it is put to use, okay, here installed and put to use, that word is important here. We are assuming that it is put to use. Put to use means, supposing next year, in the beginning of the year, I bought some plant and machinery, and I'm not going to use it for the entire, let us say, I cannot claim any depreciation on that. The depreciation starts only after I put it to use, okay, and that too, putting it to use, they again consider two things there. One is whether the asset block or asset has been used for more than 6 months or less than 6 months. Supposing 15%, this plant and machinery has got the 15% depreciation rate. Supposing the plant and machinery is used for less than 6 months, then I have to take 15%, okay, 50% of this. That is, I have to consider only 7.5%. Only if the plant and machinery is put to use for more than 6 months, then I have to consider the entire 15%. Okay. So this is again one more consideration that one has to use while using the rates given for the plant and machinery. Okay. If the asset is put to use for less than 6 months or less than 180 days, we have to consider the 50% of the rate permitted. Okay. So that's how we have to calculate the depreciation. More than 6 months, full depreciation charge. If it is less than 6 months, 50% of the okay, permitted